y'all, welcome to Make It Dairy Free. I'm Larisha.
I am Andrew, and today we are going to be sharing some of our favorite recipes that we added to our holiday menu.
Yes, so we are going to be not only showing you how to make them, but also explaining why they are our favorites and why we think that you should add them to your holiday menu. And we're going to be going through the entire menu. So everything from an appetizer, main course, all the sides, and a bread, and dessert. You guys ready?
Ready.
Let's show them how to do it.
Okay, let's do it.
A really easy way to start any holiday menu is to make a veggie tray. And we're making this one super festive by shaping it like a wreath. Even though the majority of this looks like it's broccoli, we are adding celery and carrots to the bottom of it and then topping it with some cherry tomatoes and star-shaped peppers to give it a little bit more festive feel. Then we're going to add our delicious homemade vegan ranch dip. Altogether, this veggie wreath tray takes about 20 minutes to make.
So we basically cut everything into portion sizes that we would typically have. I would like more, but we ultimately just plated them, and I think we just pretty much go around through each dish and kind of give talking points, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is like the cleanest our plates have ever looked for a holiday dinner. But we're gonna go through and talk about each one, the main points about like what makes it really special to us and why the flavors are amazing together and why you need to put it on your Christmas menu or holiday menu, no matter what you celebrate. There's lots of holidays.
Yes, there is a bunch.
All right, so I guess we'll start with the main. So for the main dish, we made a lasagna, a vegan lasagna. So it looks, just like a traditional lasagna does, and uses all the same concepts. You want to try it? Are we?
Yeah, I mean we can. So I guess what's the difference, or why should they put this on their plate? Is the question. Right.
So. It has all the traditional layers. You have the lasagna noodles and a vegan meat sauce. It is used,
What?
I messed up.
Okay.
So it has the layers. It has like the noodles, and it has the, a vegan meat sauce. It has vegan ricotta. And then we use a combination of vegan cheddar and mozzarella and Parmesan to get, everything in there. And it's just so good.
It is.
So
I think it's important to know, out of the variety of different cheeses out there, to already have an idea of like which ones are your favorite shredded cheese. Like I think there's certain things that could really make or break the lasagna dish. Yeah. Because there's so many varieties to it. Yeah. And some of this stuff you're not necessarily creating on your own. So I think cheese is definitely one of them.
Yeah. So like with our site, we always try to do like as natural as possible, and don't use a lot of processed ingredients. But with this, I think you need to pick a really good shredded vegan cheese that actually tastes really good. And unfortunately, that's going to come for the most part through a processed cheese that you would buy in the store.
We could try to. We should probably in the future try to make a cheese that you could shred.
And then we're also using like a store-bought vegan meat in this. But if you have like a bomb seitan like crumble that you love, then by all means like use it. This is basically, and I mean, it goes for everything in this dish. Like, you want to use a spaghetti sauce that like you love. Like, like what we might like might not be like,
the preference.
Right. So you basically just want to like pick all of like your favorite things. Like if you have a favorite spaghetti sauce, if you have a favorite vegan crumble or vegan shredded cheese, like you use that to make this dish.
What would be good is probably we list what we did use. So folks have an idea of our opinion and what really makes this stand out to us.
And we will do that. Like we'll list all of like our favorites, but also the most important thing about this whole thing is that you just layer it in the order that we say, basically to layer it in the post. Like so basically like you're doing sauce and then noodles and then cheese, and like you keep layering layering that, and it has like the vegan ricotta in the middle of it. So those are the most important things I think for the lasagna.
Yeah. This could be like one of the main, or if is the main course in this circumstance.
Yeah.
As you know, folks would eat other alternatives as a main course. This on your menu, if you've created all of these, would be the main course, and it definitely does justice as a main course. Honestly, I just want to crush this entire thing.
And I think it's important to note too, like, we chose lasagna as our main because even before we were vegan, that was our main dish.
Yes,
our family didn't usually, you know, for Christmas and stuff, we didn't usually have like a big piece of meat or something like a lot of families do. Like lasagna was our main dish, so that's why it's important for us to do it here.
So let's do the carrots next.
Okay. So
you could just reach over, I guess.
I could have.
I feel like I got to do the same.
So it's funny because the carrots are probably the healthiest thing. Everything else is like carb. But I feel like that's what holidays are.
No, 100%.
So
this
is like an obligatory. What am I trying to say?
I have no idea.
Obligatory. No, it's not.
Just use a different word.
It's basically like it has to be on the plate. Y'all know what I mean. You have to have something healthy on here. And we chose glazed carrots. So this is super easy. It literally takes like 10 minutes to make this dish.
Yep.
So it's great, especially like last minute if you get invited to a party or something and you need to take something, like these glazed carrots are really good. It's like 5 ingredients. Brown sugar and agave are like the main things. And you basically like just like saute it down and then it's done. Once they're like fork tender, basically.
Yeah, so. Honestly, it's really quick, and the nice thing about these is that the kids love it. So this isn't one of those things that you put it on their plate and they're like questionable, or you'll see everything gone and then these will be like the only things left behind.
Yeah.
Like these may be gone first,
right? If
they taste them. These are so good.
And I think that comes from like the carrots themselves are already sweet, and then like these are and then we're adding like the brown sugar and agave, so like it makes it sweet too. And you can do, if you don't like agave, you could always do like maple syrup instead of that, and it would basically taste the same.
It's like a fall flavor.
Yeah.
You know? I love it. It's really good. Go back to this lasagna a little bit. Some of that out the way.
And it's funny, like, even though, you know, carrots are usually super orange, like even these are like a shade of brown and like a sea of carbs.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Anyways, they're just really good. And it gives you a nice vegetable. Let's move to the mashed potatoes.
Okay.
I know, I can reach.
Nah, it's alright.
These will rival any regular mashed potato recipe that you have ever had in your entire life. We have a gravy in there too. So the fun thing about our mashed potatoes is that we actually cook the potatoes in a stock.
Yeah.
So in a vegetable stock.
Not water.
Nope. We're gonna get all the flavors directly into the potatoes as soon as, you know, we're cooking them.
Yep.
And then once the potatoes are fork tender, we're actually gonna take that off. We're gonna save that stock to make our gravy. So it even has like the potato starches inside of there, and it gets nice and thick.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and then the key for us for our mashed potatoes besides that is that we use a ton of vegan butter, lots of salt and pepper. Potatoes need, like, regardless of what potatoes need a lot of salt and pepper.
Yeah.
So you cannot skimp on that. But again, like the carrots, like this is another recipe that just takes like, you know, I think it's like 7-8 ingredients. Like it doesn't take a lot of ingredients, and it's so good. They're so creamy.
And the creaminess comes from actually using beaters, you know, what you would use to beat a cake with or something in that nature. Using those to get the potatoes, you know, nice and uniform. So I guess it's more like a whipped potato more than a mashed potato, but every bite you take, there's no like lumps or anything in that nature. It's just, it's creamy, it melts in your mouth. It's beautiful.
And obviously we'll link it in the description, but we made the traditional mashed potatoes, but actually on our mashed potato post, we have 4 different types of mashed potatoes that you could do using the same method. It just has some add-ins. So there's like a loaded mashed potato, there's spinach and artichoke mashed potatoes, just lots of really fun ideas to add in to make it like just a little something special if you want something different than the regular mashed potatoes.
True.
They're so good. So let's talk about this roll, because I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but anytime I have mashed potatoes, like I need, especially with gravy, like I need a roll to like sop it up a little bit. He thinks that's a little weird, but if you're with me, then you need like something to like to do that, you know.
You I wouldn't say I think it's weird. I prefer not to.
It's okay. So these rolls, you guys, they are so soft, so fluffy. They just like, they're so good. They're so good.
I like them literally right out the oven. I don't even know if I can get it to like a plate, or I get it out the oven and get it to just like the table to sit down and cool down.
And these will be great too, like if you made a double batch of these, like you could always like, you know, take your leftovers and like make a little sandwich the next day or anything like that. They're really good, and they last for a few days without getting like hard. So you can definitely like do that. But again, this is another recipe where, so this one does take a little bit of time because it needs to rise and stuff. But as far as like ingredients go, as far as ingredients go, again, it needs less than 10 ingredients. And it's just really good.
All right, well, to the last plated item, but not least, honestly, maybe one of my favorites.
It's the best.
Next to the lasagna.
And the rolls and the.
No. Definitely just in that, like the lasagna is my stuff. Yeah. That was always.
So we have
the
best, in our opinion, vegan mac and cheese.
Oh my God.
Look at this, guys.
It is so great.
So, so before we went vegan, I was basically in charge of the macaroni and cheese anywhere we went.
Yep.
So it was really important to me that eventually we got an amazing mac and cheese recipe. And we worked on this for like a year almost. I feel like trying to tweak it and perfect it.
We made one first that I think it tastes okay, but like
it wasn't like this.
It wasn't. We weren't happy with it, you know, and the color was also a bit off. It was like a brown mac and cheese, so it was honestly probably just not the most tasteful looking, you know, let alone trying to close your eyes and probably put it in your mouth at that point.
Yeah. So if you know anything about a really good mac and cheese that you take to holiday parties and stuff like that, it has to be baked. You can't just do a stovetop mac and cheese. It doesn't fly.
Nope.
Nobody's gonna be like, oh, I want your stovetop mac and cheese. No, they want the gooey,
the gooey.
They want like the super cheesy baked with like the little crunchy parts on the top. Like that's the mac and cheese that everybody will talk about for like years to come.
Yep.
And this vegan mac and cheese, you're just gonna drop food. This vegan mac and cheese like totally takes the cake on that. Or cheese.
Takes the
cheese.
What? So this mac and cheese, there's a couple things that I think will really get the creamy texture right, the flavors that you're looking for. One is gonna be like this secret undercover Parmesan cheese that we can only find out of 1 and maybe out of 5 stores. What brand is that?
It's Violife.
Yeah. So the Violife Parmesan cheese is on point. Like it comes in like a brick and you could kind of just shave it off. That to me is super important here.
And I also want to point out with like our mac and cheese. Oh, sorry. I also want to point out with like our mac and cheese, like a lot of vegan mac and cheeses use either carrots and potatoes. Or cashews.
Or some type of nuts. Yeah.
And we don't use either of those. So, I think the potatoes and the carrots give it just like a kind of off-putting taste. I know a lot of people like it, but I think it's just not, it doesn't give you like what you remember before if you have been an omnivore before being vegan.
Yeah.
And then it's super allergy friendly because we don't use nuts. So the base of our cheese sauce is actually a butter bean.
Yeah.
Which
means that it's got a lot of protein.
Yeah, which is surprising to a lot of people, but it's a super neutral flavor, but it gives you like a creamy sauce to work with to start. And it's just, if you haven't tried it, don't knock it. Don't be like, I'm not putting beans inside. I'm telling you, this will rival like a regular mac and cheese recipe.
I think the beans in comparison, they don't really have a flavor very much that kind of intrudes on the rest of it. So
yeah,
it really helps balance out all of it. And another key thing is the type of milk that you choose. You want a milk with a lot of fat. And while nut milks, that word always, while nut milks have, you know, some fat, and so does, you know, like a coconut milk. Nut milk we didn't use strictly because we wanted to make it allergy friendly. But also we didn't go with the coconut milk because the coconut milk would have a flavor that obviously didn't mesh well as a mac and cheese. So we went with a full fat oat milk, which was super like close to like what you would get out of a whole milk.
Yeah. I just love, you guys have to like leave us a comment below, because like I want to know, like, are you more like, do you have to have a main dish, or like are you all about the sides? Because I feel like I'm all about the sides, like I'd be okay, and then I feel like you always need some type of like main thing, which is usually you wanting lasagna.
I don't have to say, I honestly, I'm more of a sides person myself, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, what main stuff, even at like my mom's house when she made stuff, like I didn't, like when we used to eat meat, I would maybe have like 1 or 2 slivers of something, but
True.
everything else was a side on the plate, you know? Nothing wasn't a whole ton of like meat stacked on the plate and then just some sides. Like it was sides galore on my plate.
Yeah. So for dessert, I'm gonna sit this up here while you finish.
Okay.
So for dessert, we made this no-bake chocolate cheesecake, and we did like a little sugared cranberries on top. So for the base of this, we're using Oreos, and we chose a red velvet Oreo, just to give it like a red color. So it's like more like holiday friendly or whatever. But you can use any type of Oreo. You could also use graham crackers. You could use other types of like hard cookies, like a vegan vanilla wafer or something like that. You just want something hard to make a crust.
I would say not only the color choice of the red velvet Oreos, but the red velvet Oreos actually have a cream cheese kind of taste to it from the filling. So I think that also plays a good portion into the the cheesecake itself. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, you could use any base and it would still be a really good cream cheese because of the other things that go into it. What are you doing right now?
I was dancing a little bit. I was excited. Don't judge me.
I'm not. But no, 100%. There's it. The red velvet, I think, added just that little cherry on top, I guess, if you will, to the recipe.
Cranberry on top.
Cranberry on top. Speaking of the cranberries, they're sugared cranberries, which is super easy to make. But eat the cranberry with, like me, I hate bitter, like super bitter taste, and cranberries do that. So eat the cranberry with the cheesecake, and it is like a luscious burst in your mouth, like you bit a blueberry or something at the time. but it's also give that balance of the sweet and the sour, I guess, taste.
So, so this cheesecake, it is no bake, which is great if, again, you need a last minute dish to take somewhere, or you just don't feel like, laboring over the stove for another couple of hours making, another thing when you've already made this whole plate of food.
In the oven?
Yes, that. So again, this needs less than 10 ingredients. You're basically taking vegan cream cheese, which it is super important that you get a good tasting vegan cream cheese. A lot of vegan cream cheeses have like a weird aftertaste. So it's really important. Our favorite is Wayfair.
Yep.
Which we know that, a lot of places can't get it yet, or it's not like super popular in a lot of stores, but if you can find it, absolutely recommend it. And with this one, since there's chocolate mixed into it, I guess our second favorite would probably be Violife, which I know is a little more available.
Yep.
It does have a slight coconut taste to that one, instead of like the Wayfair is like super neutral. But when you mix in the chocolate and stuff like that, you can't really taste the coconut if you would make it with that.
I don't think you can taste it at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And then the other important things are there's a whipped topping in this. That's how it kind of helps it set up. We cheat and buy store-bought whipped for this, but we also have a recipe on the site for making it homemade. So obviously, like, no matter what, like, if you prefer to do quicker, you can do the store-bought, or you could make it at home. Like, either way works perfectly just the same, and you'll get the same results.
I don't know if I would say we cheat. I just think we try to move things along a little quicker. Around the holidays, you have so many items that you're trying to put together. It's sometimes just helpful to have some of those other things already created.
Yeah.
Like, I know being vegan, we're so natural, and we try to grab like everything and make it from scratch. But around the holidays, it's time consuming, especially Christmas, right? You got presents you're trying to wrap, you got the house you're decorating. It's like just all these other things going on. So what are you doing right there?
What did it stay?
But yeah, you just have all these other things going on. I think having some things already done for you is just super helpful in terms of trying to get how many things do we have here? 5, 6 different recipes together.
Right.
So
yeah, like we made six things, and that's not even like all that we would normally have. Like we're just trying to do like a little idea video for you guys and let you know like some ideas, but obviously, typically, you're making another probably 5 or 6 sides sometimes, even if it's just 3 or 4. So you need something to be small. Oh, let's talk about our eggnog. Obviously, there's tons of different eggnogs on the market,
Very true.
We also have a homemade eggnog that I think, again, rivals anything on the market.
Good. Yeah.
And I know we just said like you don't need something else to make, but you should make this eggnog.
Make the eggnog. It's
so good.
If you like eggnog, or if you don't like eggnog, this may just change it.
It'll change your mind.
Yeah.
It changed my mind. Remember, I swore I didn't like eggnog.
Yeah,
and
you weren't an eggnog person at all.
You made it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah, so we definitely recommend that you try that. It's just something nice to have like after dinner too, when like you're having dessert or something.
Yeah.
Just to have like a little nice drink. So yeah, so we hope that you enjoyed this video and you got inspired to make something for your holidays. We have a ton of other options on the site, and we'll make a post that has all of them listed, and then we'll link that in the description.
True.
But you have to let us know in the comments, like, what was your favorite thing that we made? What do you think you're gonna make for your holidays? And what you're most excited about?
Okay. What? I didn't have anything. I didn't know. I wasn't ready. You kind of ended that abruptly. Somewhere this eggnog. Okay. So the video isn't actually ending yet. We're still going.
So we just wanted to wish you guys a happy holiday season. We know that there are a lot of different holidays celebrated in the month of December. And no matter what holiday you celebrate, we hope that you are inspired to make one of our dishes and that you enjoy all of your family and friends this holiday season. And of course, we wanted to thank you guys for always being supportive of us and helping us bring these videos to you guys. So thank you.
All right, my turn. So, good job.
Thanks.
I was joking. The cheesecake is really good.
Oh, you weren't really till your turn.
No, I was just playing.
Oh, I thought
I'm not.
you.
No, I'm not. Just you
You
said
didn't
it.
say anything though.
Was I supposed to?
Yeah, you were supposed to be like, bye, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, guys.
Is that good?
Yeah, I don't know. Why are we so awkward at this?
I don't know.